Big night here as well, coming up. And the mobile rolling for this first race for today. You go through them. There's the one scratching here, number 5, Ollie's Molly. And some people may not have had number 9, Mustang, on their sheet, which is number 9 for the Marine John Caldo team. A few of them in different barrier orders as they start to come up. Set and away. And beginning well from the inside was Sports Rack for Kenny Tippett, and shows this early speed from Calypso Mistress getting to second, and third was Terrible Girl. Moving through to be fourth was Minuscule. It's got into fourth placing, leaving the straight as they sort themselves out. Back in the field we've got... who else is back there with them? We've got Red Fox Raider. It's back second last. Gary Hoban is back last of all with P. And Ava's Delight, it's back at the tail of the field. Mustang also settles third last, and there's one in front of it, and that would be Amalfi Coast in fifth spot. So they head down the back straight. And Kenny Tippett, who had a winner the other night with Bamboogle Jack, he leads the way going past the 1600. Lead time was 48.9, so Sports Rack is the leader. From in second spot, Calypso Mistress second, and third was Terrible Girl. In fourth placing and getting through into a reasonable spot was Minuscule, being tracked up in turn by Amalfi Coast. Then third last was Mustang. Second last was back there at the second last of the field was Red Fox Raider, and back last of all with it was P and Ava's Delight. They come into the home straight. 32.5 the first quarter of the last mile, 48.9 lead time. The bell sounds, they'll come down to the winning post with a lap to go. And Sports Rack leading the way from Calypso Mistress. Terrible Girl coming off the pegs then was Minuscule. Sticking to the pegs at the moment was Amalfi Coast, and moving around them very quickly was Red Fox Raider. It's going to try to get up into the one out, one back trail, which was able to do so on the back of Minuscule. P-Nava's Delight also gets into the running line, and back last of all was Mustang. Past the 800, 31.2 the second quarter, 63.7.5, and Sports Rack's not really waiting for anyone at the moment. He leads by 6 metres to Minuscule second, Calypso Mistress third, and fourth the outside was Red Fox Raider. Back tucked away along the pegs came Terrible Girl, then followed by P-Nava's Delight from back there Mustang, and the one that's dropping off at the moment was Amalfi Coast. They head past the 400 metre mark, third quarter in 29.4, and going to the lead was Minuscule. Out wide on the track was Red Fox Raider. A couple of them are winding up from back in the field. That was P-Nava's Delight 3 wide, and Mustang 4 wides running on. Sports Rack's called it a day. It's Minuscule in front. Down the outside was Mustang. It's running on very strongly with P-Nava's Delight trying to rally back in between runners. It's Mustang out wide hitting the lead, and Mustang will win by a long neck on the line to P-Nava's Delight second, and third was Minuscule. Fourth placing, close up, came David Miles there with in fourth placing with Red Fox Raider. Close up there was Terrible Girl. Then came well back in the field, and weakening out of it was Sports Rack with Amalfi Coast, and also pulling up pretty quickly over the line was Calypso Mistress. 28.3 the final quarter, and a mile rate of 22.5. Winner number 9, which was Mustang, who ran on very strongly from back in the field to score. Second, number 7, P-Nava's Delight, also made ground from well back. Third, number 8, Minuscule, faced the breeze for the last lap, battled on well. Fourth, number 6, Red Fox Raider. And fifth home, number 2, Terrible Girl. So 1, 7, 8, 6 and 2. 1, 7, 8, 6 and 2. The race time was 250.5, 250.5 the race time. A mile rate of 225. 225 was the mile rate. Last mile in 21.6, 216 last mile. And last half in 57.8. 1.5 metres by 1.5. So race time 250.5. A mile rate of 22.5. 22.5 was a mile rate. Last mile in 216. Last half 57.8. And the margin's 1.5 metres by 1.5. So 9, 7, 8, 6 and 2. Mustang first. P. Navy's Delight second. Minuscule third. Fourth number 6, Red Fox Raider. And fifth number 2, Terrible Girl. Race time 250.5, a mile rate of 225. Last mile 216. Last half 57.8. 1.5 by 1.5 the margins.